The invisible prison. Have you ever felt like your life is waiting for permission to begin? Maybe you've told yourself that things will get better when you earn more money, when you find the right opportunity, when stress finally goes away, when life becomes easier. So you keep waiting. Months pass. Then years. And without realizing it, waiting becomes a habit. Most people don't live trapped by circumstances. They live trapped by the belief that something outside themselves must change first. A better job, a better economy, a better relationship, a better version of the world. But life has a strange way of disappointing those expectations, because the perfect moment never arrives. There is always another problem, another obstacle, another reason to postpone the life you want. The Stoics understood something that many people spend decades learning. Life is happening now, not after the next promotion, not after the next breakthrough, not after everything finally feels comfortable. Right now. This moment. The uncomfortable truth is that many people are not stuck because life is holding them back. They are stuck because they keep negotiating with reality, waiting for certainty before they move, waiting for confidence before they act, waiting for guarantees before they begin. But confidence rarely comes first. Action does. And perhaps the prison was never your circumstances. Perhaps it was the story you kept telling yourself about them. The cage was never locked. You simply never pushed the door. The wake-up call. The moment reality interrupts the story. For years, Michael believed his life would eventually improve. He wasn't lazy. He worked hard, paid his bills, showed up every day. From the outside, everything looked normal. But inside, something felt unfinished. Every morning started with the same promise. Things will be different soon. Soon became next month. Next month became next year. And somehow, nothing changed. Then, one evening, after another exhausting day at work, he sat alone in his car before driving home. The engine was off. The parking lot was almost empty. For the first time, in a long time, there was silence. And in that silence, a thought appeared. What if nobody is coming? Not a mentor. Not luck. Not some perfect opportunity. What if this is it? What if the person waiting for change and the person responsible for change are the same person? The realization was uncomfortable, but it was also freeing, because the moment he stopped expecting life to rescue him, he discovered something powerful. He still had choices. Maybe not control over everything, but control over enough. Enough to start. Enough to improve. Enough to take one step forward. The Stoics often reminded themselves that reality does not bend to our wishes. It asks for our participation. Life changes when we stop watching it happen and start taking part in it. The day you stop waiting for rescue is the day your life begins. The Stoic shift. Stop fighting reality. One of the greatest sources of suffering is not pain. It is resistance. We resist criticism. We resist disappointment. We resist the fact that people don't always behave the way we want. We resist the reality that life is uncertain. And then we wonder why we feel exhausted. Look around. Someone spends hours arguing online with strangers. Someone else replays an insult from years ago. Another person loses sleep, worrying about things that haven't happened. The common thread is always the same. Energy is being invested where power does not exist. The Stoics offered a simple question. What is actually under your control? Not the economy, not public opinion, not your past, not other people's choices, only your judgments, your actions, your responses. This shift sounds small, but it changes everything. Because when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you recover enormous amounts of energy. Energy that can be used to improve your health, strengthen your character, build meaningful relationships, create a better future. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, political conflict, and constant uncertainty. Yet he repeatedly returned to the same truth. You always have power over yourself. The modern world encourages us to obsess over everything. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Focus on what belongs to you. Release what does not. Not because reality is fair, but because fighting reality is a battle nobody wins. Peace begins the moment you stop arguing with what already is. The hard truth about responsibility. The mirror most people avoid. There is a reason most people avoid responsibility. Because responsibility is uncomfortable. It removes the luxury of blame. As long as someone else is responsible for your situation, you never have to change. You can blame your boss, your childhood, the economy, bad luck, and for a while, those explanations may even feel true. But there is a hidden cost. Every excuse gives away a piece of your power. A man spends 10 years complaining about his job. Every conversation sounds the same. The company is unfair. Management doesn't care. The opportunities are limited. Maybe some of those things are true. But after 10 years, one question remains. Why is he still there? That question changes everything. Because responsibility is not about guilt. It is about ownership. The Stoics understood that growth begins the moment we stop asking, "Who is to blame?" and start asking, "What can I do now?" That shift is small, but it turns victims into builders. The truth is that life becomes lighter when you stop carrying resentment. Not because your problems disappear, but because your attention returns to the one place where change is possible: yourself. Every meaningful transformation begins with a mirror. Not a mirror that reflects your appearance, a mirror that reflects your choices. And sometimes the hardest truth is also the most liberating one. Your freedom begins where your excuses end. Small actions, big transformations. Why your future is built in ordinary days. Most people expect change to feel dramatic. A breakthrough, a life-changing opportunity, a moment that instantly transforms everything. But that is rarely how life works. Real transformation is usually quiet, almost invisible. A person starts walking 20 minutes every morning. No one notices. Someone reads 10 pages before bed instead of scrolling social media. Nothing seems different. Another person begins saving a small amount of money every week. The balance barely moves. At first. This is why many people quit too soon. They judge progress by what they can see, not by what is being built beneath the surface. The Stoics understood that character is shaped the same way a stone is carved. One strike at a time. One choice at a time. One day at a time. Every action becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. Not tomorrow. Today. The world celebrates massive results. But results are only the final chapter. The real story is written in ordinary moments that nobody applauds. The workout nobody saw. The temptation you resisted. The promise you kept. The effort you repeated. Success often looks sudden from the outside, but from the inside, it was built slowly, quietly, patiently. Your life changes long before anyone can see it, and the future you want is being shaped by what you choose to do today. Become someone worth trusting. The relationship with yourself. Many people struggle because they no longer trust themselves. Not because they are weak. Not because they lack talent. But because they have broken too many promises to themselves. They say they will start on Monday. Monday comes and goes. They promise to exercise, to save money, to stop wasting time, to become more disciplined. Then life gets busy, and the promise disappears. Again. Over time, something dangerous happens. They stop believing their own words, and without realizing it, they lose confidence. Because confidence is not created by positive thinking. It is created by evidence. Evidence that you can rely on yourself. The Stoics believed that character is built through repeated action, not intention. Action. Every time you keep a commitment, even a small one, you strengthen your relationship with yourself. You become someone your future self can depend on. Think about the people you admire most. They are not trusted because they are perfect. They are trusted because they are consistent. They do what they say they will do, especially when nobody is watching. That same principle applies to your own life. Integrity is not public. It is private. It is the decision to honor your standards even when there is no reward, no applause, no recognition, just you and your word. The strongest foundation you can build is not wealth, not status, not influence. It is becoming the kind of person who can trust himself. Because confidence grows every time you keep a promise nobody else can see. Life starts moving when you do. At the beginning of this journey, we talked about waiting for the right moment, waiting for confidence, waiting for life to finally become easier. But now you can see the pattern. The people who transform their lives are rarely the people who wait. They are the people who begin, not because they have all the answers, not because they feel ready, but because they understand something most people never do. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. The Stoics never promised a life without obstacles. They never claimed that discipline would remove hardship or that wisdom would eliminate uncertainty. Life will still surprise you. People will still disappoint you. Plans will still fail. There will still be days when progress feels invisible. But none of those things can stop a person who has learned to govern himself. Because true strength was never about controlling the world. It was about controlling your response to it. Think about where you will be 1 year from now. The days are coming whether you use them or not. The months will pass whether you grow or remain the same. Time moves forward without asking for permission. The only question is what you will do with the time that is given to you. Will you continue waiting for a better future, or will you start building it? A meaningful life is not discovered. It is created. One decision, one action, one ordinary day at a time. And perhaps the moment that changes everything is not somewhere in the future. Perhaps it is this one. The moment you decide to begin,